back to an episode 12-inch figure fanatic. Remember to subscribe. So today we're going to be opening up the Walking Dead, the official license with AMC. This is Daryl Dixon. We're also going to do a side-by-side with my custom that I've had for quite some time. And it has the dreaded flaking fake leather going on the vest. So you'll see what I mean. Anyways, let's crack this open and see what we got. Okay, so typical of their Walking Dead line, it's a pretty narrow box because you don't have anything too elaborate that comes with it. And it does have a window, little image of him here. This is an actual photo, not the figure. And there he is there. This figure has been out for a while too. I just finally got around to buying it. All right, so right off the bat, it looks like the vest has held up. And looks like I'll have to work the collar a little bit, popped up there. The wings on the back are stitched in. This is a different type of material with the print of the wings. You have the stitching on the side here. You even have a wound here on his arm. And he comes with the bandana already sticking out of the back and a sheath for his blade. The boots are a single sculpt. The laces are very pronounced in that sculpt though, so it looks nice. And weathered as well. Got their trademark logo on the bottom here. The fit of the pants is very nice, weathered on the pants, especially at the bottoms. They hug around the boot pretty nicely, and they're torn a little bit in various places. Shirt looks weathered as well. And THREEZERO always does a very good job at detailing their things. I will say that probably the biggest shortcoming, now the head sculpt itself, it looks fantastic. Let's get a proper zoom here. But with the hair being stitched, now he does have long hair, so ideally it would be, ideally the hair would be stitched and not sculpted, especially if you want to expose a little bit more of his eyes. You get a little bit of the ear coming out of here, but yeah, overall, it's a great head sculpt. The important thing is that the likeness is there. I could deal with the sculpted hair. The arms are seamless, and even though they didn't draw in any arm hair, you get some indication of it in the texturing. Pretty stiff in moving the joints, and as is typical with these figures, unless you're doing a silicone arm, you're going to get this crease here because it's just a rubber exoskeleton with a hard plastic interior. But with a figure with exposed arms like this, you got to do something because you don't want to have the elbow seams there. The wrist seams, I guess you can't do anything about that with it, once again, not being silicone. However, the color match is appropriate to the arm and between the arm and the hand. Overall, very nice. Let's see what else we got here. All right, so you got his poncho. Some instructions, very basic instructions of poncho installation, and that's the only instructions you get, is working with the poncho. Very Clint Eastwood-ish. So the inside, nothing on it. Outside, you've got this pattern. You got a slit for the head. Very good material, though. You could tell that you're going to get some Some good creasing in there so it doesn't look fake. Very appropriate use of material. Got his blade here. This is made of plastic. And you can't tell that well from the camera, but the handle is a different color than the blade. It's sort of a grayish cream, whereas the blade is obviously silver. And it's nicely weathered as well. Got a handgun, and it's stiff, but the slide does work. And it does have a removable magazine. And that is nicely weathered as well. Got his crossbow with a shoulder strap, camouflage shoulder strap, leather on the ends there. Very nice, good detailing there. Weathered on that as well. And it looks like the arrow does come out on top here, so you got one already inserted. You've got the string here, and you've got some additional arrows here. Other than that, I mean, it's kind of delicate, but there's some pliability to it. And then you got some hand options. And on the left hand, you have some injury here as well. So let's get this figure set up and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so here he is all set up. Now let's do a side-by-side with the custom version that I have. Many differences here. For one, my head sculpt has stitch tear. However, the likeness is not as good. And the hair is definitely in need of some grooming. However, from looking at photo stills from the show, a few key things. This shirt is darker and more in keeping with the show, whereas this one is lighter. Also, if you notice, his arms on this one, also seamless, also are a little bit more sculpted and skinnier, right? As opposed to this one. It's a little bit bulkier. This body is a little bit more screen accurate. So I will probably keep this figure body and just put all of the clothing and head sculpt from this one onto here. But if you notice, the vest is also experiencing that dreaded flaking, and especially the back. You could hardly even, so the pattern is almost entirely gone now. The wing pattern, yeah, it's garbage. But the pants are also a little bit more frayed, bigger holes, more in keeping with the show as well. However, the looseness of the material is not good. It's more appropriate, the fit of the pants on this one here. My custom does have the bow, and it's almost identical, but just some slight differences. You could tell they used a different sculpt, and the strap is a little bit more basic. So on the 3-0 figure, scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to give it a 7.8. If they were going to start stitching hair, I think they should have started with this figure. That the sculpted hair just doesn't look as good on him with those bangs, and the body type that they used is not as good as well. Yeah, I think that's a fair score. Otherwise, the quality of materials is good. The fact that it comes with the little good, bad, and the ugly job here. Thanks for tuning in, guys. See you next time.